Hey, welcome back to Five Lakes Garage, and today is going to be something very simple, very easy, and anybody could do it. And quite honestly, I think everybody should be doing it. Now, we have a 2019 Toyota Tacoma. So what we're going to do today is actually do a clay bar. We're going to wax it. First, we got to clean it. Now, once we get actually to the clay bar and waxing, I'll give you a couple tips on some different ways of doing it and some of the products that are out there. I have my way, you have your way. Let me know your way, put it down in the comments. Maybe I can do it in a much better fashion. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and scrub this guy. And you don't really need to see that. That's just washing a car. Anybody can do that. All right, let's see if you can tell where my little clean spot was. See, I just got it wet. Look at that, spotted right up. That's actually what we're trying to go for. Drying it, washing it, everything is so much better, so much easier when you have bubbles like that, because they just wipe right off. All right, wash time. All right, so we got the truck washed. It's nice and clean. It actually looks pretty good. It's almost like, oh, why do you want to do this? Well, if you put your hand across it, it's rough, right where I did my clean spot. Whew, smooth as a baby's butt. And that's what we're kind of going for the rest of the truck. These are the things that you're going to need. Some of the tools and some of the products that I like to use. There are plenty of other products. There's ceramic coating. There's liquid stuff you just spray on and walk away. It does a pretty good job. I still like to go old school just because that's the way I do things. Anyway, so the first thing we want to do is wash it, which we've already done. You can use any cleanser that you really want. Just make sure that your sponges are clean, your brushes are clean. You don't want to put any dirt, sand, gravel, whatever across your paint, because then it scratches it and then you got another problem. But first thing you want to do is actually clay bar. Now, Mother's sells this one right here. No, they're not a sponsor. I did pick this up myself. I've been using it forever. If you look at some of the van, the minivan, yeah, it's super sexy Honda Odyssey. Hopefully it's still, treating the new family just as good as it did us. But that paint was almost pristine because I did this. I try to do it every year that we had it, and it actually preserves it, and it looked great. But this guy right here, so if you look on the side of the panel, this pretty much tells everything. So you have your clear coat, you got your paint, your clear coat, excuse me, and then you have all this grit and grime, wax and stuff like that. Well, the clay bar is going to remove all that crap. But in this little kit, you buy the whole kit and you get everything you need. You get a nice little chamois cloth. Then it also comes with a clay bar. That's kind of what it's for. Also, it does come up with a detailer, instant detailer. And because when you use the clay bar, it has to be wet. If it's not wet, you kind of hurt your paint a little bit, and you don't want to do that. Make sure it's nice and wet, couple sprays, and then wipe it off. All right, so you clay bar. We're getting ready to do that. Pretty much go ahead and pick up some wax. Now, this is what I like to use. Like I said, there are hundreds of stuff out there, but I like to use the stuff also from Mother's. Mother's is a pretty good company for detailing that type of stuff, but I do like to use the California Gold. Now this, if you're from back in the 80s, like I am, you know, wax on or wax off. So basically it's all that is, and it is a putty paste type of thing that you wipe on, and then you take a lint-free cloth and wipe it off. Carry a couple of these because they're gonna get kind of chalky and stuff like that. Keep them clean. Do not have any sand in here. It will destroy your paint. All right, some of the optional things that you're gonna need to make life a lot better: lights, portable lights, because you wanna make sure that you get all of this off. Here's a tool that I actually made. It's just a paintbrush. Took some scissors, cut off the bristles so it'll be a little stiff. Because of this, boom, you get into the corners, you get into the crevices, gets all that crap off. So, anyway, oh, yes. A good rolling stool, because you are going to be here for a while. Anyway, let's go ahead and get the clay bar stuff out, and I'll show you some quick techniques on that, and then we're going to get to work. So it's going to take a while. Oh, another thing you need: Get yourself a radio. Like I said, you're gonna be here for a while. You don't want to go crazy, man. All right, we have a nice clean surface. Like I said, rough, smooth, baby butt. Anyway, all right, here is my clay bar. Now I've already mushed it up there. You want to fold it into each other, kind of just smush it up. Now, once I do a section, I'm gonna fold it over and smush it up. That will bring all the contaminants inside the bar and you won't have too much on the outside. And like I said, keep it nice and wet. A couple squirts, that's all you need. And then you just go over the entire truck. Just make sure it is wet. All right, so I'm gonna do a little section. Don't do a big section, just do a small section. Go over once, you can go over it twice to make sure you got everything. There you go. So now, you can grab your microfiber cloth and wipe all that off. I can already feel the difference. Now I've already waxed this one, so this feels a little bit better, but I can feel this and right where I stopped, right there. All right, so I just did a section. You can see the actual, this is what I just took off. I just washed this truck, but this is how much you take off. Then I fold that in, squish it up, I'm ready for the next spot. I got a lot of work to do. So let's go, yeah, just gotta do it to do it. All right, let's go do it then. All right, so I just clay barred the front. Now is the time to make sure your detail is correct. Now's the time to actually take your time, be patient. Now, do small sections at a time so you can actually really go over it. If you have a water spot that just can't quite come out with regular washing, now's the time to do it. The clay bar will take it out. Now, this hood is pretty much ready to go. So all I did was the hood and this one fender just to be able to show you exactly some of the techniques. You don't really need to watch me do the entire truck. Now, a couple things that I would use this wax on. One, the paint, obviously. I'll actually throw it on the headlights. Yeah, because you want the stuff to actually just fall off. You know, all the dirt, all the grime, all the road stuff, road scum, whatever, fall off the truck. Also, your windshield. It's like Rain-X. It's awesome. Most of the time you don't have to use your wipers. It just falls right off as long as you're going fast enough. If it doesn't fall off your windshield, you're not going fast enough. So anyway, I got my little sponge. This might be the last time I actually use this one. It's got a little fuzzy on it. So anyway, but just make sure it's clean. You're gonna take a little bit on your sponge. Now I've already did this section, but I'm gonna do it again. But basically, little circles. All right, so while you're actually doing the circles, get down here, use the light, and then you can see exactly where your swirl is. Now, if you had a black truck, really easy to see. I got a silver one, it's not that easy. So anyway, little circles, you wanna get it right down in there. Don't let your sponge go dry either. All right, now right here we have this little black seam right here. We don't want to get wax on there, right? So you're gonna sit up here and then you're gonna spin it around and use that sharp edge. It's better for you to see it. Huh. There you go. So we got this line. Use the sharp edge. You don't even have to get that close to it because when you wipe all this down with the microfiber, you can actually get down to that edge and not have any excess that's going to get on that black trim. All right, let's just pretend I did the entire hood. I didn't do it yet because you don't need to quite see all of that. So here is some of the very important techniques I need to let you know. The reason why I like to use these sponges here is because of that fine edge. Kind of sort of like what we did to the front. You do not want to get wax on your fender flares. If you get them up there, then you're going to be that dude or that girl that's going to have a nice shiny truck with swirl marks in your black trim. You can't get that off without using a bunch of chemicals and stuff like that, wax stripper and that type of stuff, but then you can get it on your paint, and it's just a big pain in the butt. So take your time. I just got a good amount of wax on my sponge. Start up here. All right, once I get it down, then I'll go down and do little swirls right next to it. If you need to, use your other finger as a guide to keep it from touching. All right, so that's one way of doing it. There's another. All right, if you really want to do it, and if you don't feel comfortable doing it by hand, grab yourself some painter's tape. This stuff works great. So I'm just going to take a little piece and then just put it right on your trim. So if you spend the time putting tape on it, you can go whole hog on it. So it doesn't matter, because that tape is going to protect it. But you do not want to get this wax on those fender flares, because then it looks like garbage, and we don't want it to look like garbage. So anyway, I'm going to do some more, and then once it dries, I'll show you how to get it off. The stuff up top is getting there, still a little bit tacky, so I'm going to keep going, and then when you come back, I'll show you how to get everything out of the crevices and that type of stuff. So anyway, I might actually start taping on some of the things, especially the fender flares. The rest of it I could probably do by hand, but we'll come back and show you the goodness. All right, I got wax all on the hood and this one fender. I still got to do the clay bar around the rest, but this is what we got so far. Now, as you can see, it's a little chalky. You can put it in your hands. It doesn't come off on your hands. So we're pretty much ready to start taking it off. Now, if you wait for this thing to completely dry, I've seen people ride around town with it all caulked up, chalked up, or whatever. It just makes it really hard to get off. That's why I have a couple of these towels. So I usually wait till the top layer is nice and dry. The bottom layer we can actually wipe off. But go ahead and start where you started the first time, because that's been on the longest. So this whole section here has been on, then the fender, and then I'll go to the other side, and by the time I get to the other side, then this shed should be dry. So anyway, yeah, nice and nasty. Couple swipes. And now, baby's butt. Now this is where the light's really gonna come in. In other words, gonna come in to shine. Is that you can sit here, I just wiped this off. Now I think I did a pretty good job. And then I get down here and I can see a little spot there and a little spot there. That's where these lights come in. Because then I can go over and you don't have swirl marks. Man, that looks good. I can see myself. Also, as you're wiping it down, flip your towel. Flip your towel. Once you get both of them, fold it again, go through, flip your towel. Once this gets clogged up, go ahead and grab another towel, shake this off till it gets completely dry, and then it turns into powder, and then you can actually shake it, and then it will come out, and then you're good as new. So, anyway, now here goes another problem that you're going to run into, especially with doing this type of wax. Down in this crevice, you're going to have wax that you didn't mean to put in there. Now, yes, I can lift the hood, actually get in there, but some of the crevices, like down here on the fender, you're not going to be able to take off. So that's where my paintbrush comes in. Now make sure you don't have anything in there, just wipe it off. But anyway, you're going to go and get down into the crevice and then wipe it off. Now the bristles are soft enough, don't get a really gnarly wiry one, but the bristles are soft enough to actually get into the corners, get it all nice and clean, but not scratch the paint. All right, so, oh, that is beautiful. All right, well, I got a lot of elbow grease to put in this thing. So sit back and relax. Don't worry, it's not gonna take that long. In my world, it's gonna take forever. In your world, it'll take like 30 seconds. So just be patient with me. I got a couple other things to let you know, but I gotta get this off before it dries too much. All right, here's another example of why you need your little brush. You have your emblem looking nice and shiny. Later on, we're gonna probably black these out, but you can't get the towel in there very well. That's where this guy comes in. You just kind of do little circles. Gets in all the looking crannies. Doesn't scratch the paint. Then you take your towel, wipe it off. Now she looks good. Gets inside, gets the back. And you don't have any wax swirl marks, which is good. So now I gotta go to every crevice and hit it with the brush. Yeah, it's gonna look good. Couple other little quick tips. Yes, I'm inside of a shop and I do have air conditioning in here. If this metal is too hot, that wax will bake onto your finish and it is really hard to get off. Also, don't wash it in the sun because then the water droplets will dry too fast and then you leave water spots all over your truck. Don't want to do that. So keep it wet, keep the water spots from forming, and then go ahead and bring it into the shop if you can. If you can't, find a tree, get some shade. Do it first thing in the morning, late in the evening, whenever the temperatures are a little bit cooler. Like I said before, I usually do this around October, November time frame because the temperatures do drop. All right, look at it. Oh my goodness, it's so awesome. Shiny, smooth, silky smooth. All right, so the next step you want to do is actually take it outside and actually take it in the sun. It's a little cloudy, but we'll get it in the sun. We'll take a couple shots. Walk around it with your chamois just to make sure you didn't miss anything, because that is one of the downfalls of actually doing the wax on wax off method. So let's get this guy out because she looks beautiful. Get it out in the sun where the sun will be shining and it will look even better. All right, we got it out of the shop. Let's get it out in the sun. Well, what's left of it. It's not that sunny right now. Actually it's sprinkled a little bit, so it's not the greatest day to put it out here, but I wanted to get it out here in the natural light and be able to see if I actually missed any spots. Go over there with the chamois and make sure you get everything. But yeah, she looks pretty good, don't she? Oh yeah. Yeah, looks so good. Anyway, check out all the other stuff. This is just a quick one about how to wax it properly and not have those swirl marks all on your fender flares or on your truck bed or anything like that. Sorry if you already done that because they're really hard to get off. But if you do it right, you don't have to worry about it. And it looks great. Anyway, check out all the other stuff. Don't forget to subscribe. That definitely helps us out. And woo! Oh, sorry, that's a little too slick for me. Yeah, check out everything else. Take it easy, have fun, get out there and wax your own stuff. Preserve it, because if the stuff looks great, when you want to resell it, it's a whole lot easier. It's that somebody's going to look at it and be like, they took care of it. I want that vehicle. Anyway, take it easy, have fun.